I really thought Navarro was gonna make it.
I'm gonna forward this to Coruscant. Request permission to intercede.
They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks. They're swamped. We'll never get an answer in time.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
When will ZEB make his appearance in the Ahsoka Disney Plus show? Is what we are going to be discussing in today's video. We are going to go ahead and hop right on into it. In this video, we are going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As a read, one of the core members of the Ghost Crew, or remaining members at that, from Star Wars Rebels, the animated show, is still missing in the Ahsoka Disney Plus show. The first 5 episodes of Ahsoka not only featured the return of Rosario Dawson as the titular character of Ahsoka, but has also brought back pretty much the entirety of the remaining alive members of the Ghost Crew from the Star Wars Rebels animated show, with Natasha Liu Bordizzo's Sabine Wren and Mary Elizabeth Winston's Hera Syndulla have been present since the very first episode. Ezra Bridger was featured in a hologram, and both Chopper and Jacen Syndulla have even had extensive roles as well. However, one important character of that core group hasn't shown up on screen for the Ahsoka show quite yet, and none of the above mentioned characters have even mentioned his name at that, which is a bit concerning if I may mention. So this here all being said, where is ZEB in the Ahsoka show? Many fans are currently wondering why ZEB hasn't been involved in the Ahsoka storyline so far, considering that he is a core member of the Ghost Crew and is especially close with Ezra. It is also important to note that he is the only living member of the crew not to be featured in the show so far, well, at least in the flesh. Technically, the character has been seen on the Lothal mural that was first featured in Rebels, the animated show, and has also been seen in Ahsoka Episode 2, but ZEB himself, in the flesh, hasn't actually appeared as anything but a painting in the show. It wouldn't hurt to have him tag along, as he is the muscle of the group. He could have proved extremely useful in some of the scuffles and fights that have taken place so far as well. While it may be a bit of a surprise that ZEB hasn't been in the Ahsoka show, it is also likely due to the fact of that he is currently employed by the New Republic at this point in the Star Wars timeline, but if I may also mention, so is Hera, being a general in the New Republic. According to the Sabine Wren actress in live action, Natasha Liu Bordizzo, Ahsoka takes place along the same timeline as The Mandalorian Season 3. It is also important to remember that ZEB actually made a cameo appearance, of course, in The Mandalorian Season 3, of course, of where he has been seen with the other New Republic officers and pilots as well, making a short cameo in that show. Including him in that show may have been more than Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni providing fans with a fun cameo, but at that, explaining a little bit more onto why ZEB may not appear in the Ahsoka show. If he is a part of the New Republic and not directly taking orders from General Hera Syndulla, it would also be impossible for him to abandon his post without either getting let go or possibly even imprisoned and just being on the loose, having escaped. So ultimately, The Mandalorian Season 3 revealed why ZEB hasn't been in the Ahsoka show thus far, but fans can probably safely assume that if he could somehow get away from his duties for a bit with the New Republic, he would be on his way to save his friends right away, joining them. I do believe this to be a very well thought out, in-universe or in-canon explanation for as of why ZEB isn't in the Ahsoka show, but facing reality, ZEB is a fully CGI'd character, as we see in The Mandalorian Season 3, and that is something that can be quite extensive and expensive to actually pull off and do for the Ahsoka show. Having him featured in a number of those episodes, scenes, and sequences as one of the main characters would be pretty difficult to pull off, and especially for it to look really great and good as it did in The Mandalorian Season 3. So with this all in mind and this here all being said, let's not completely lose hope for ZEB not appearing in the Ahsoka show. He still very well could appear somewhere in the show. My biggest thing though is that even though ZEB hasn't even been mentioned in the Ahsoka Disney Plus series, he could still show up in the show, but that is one of my biggest disappointments with ZEB in the Ahsoka show. Maybe one of my biggest disappointments just with the show overall, at that one of my only disappointments with the show, as that we couldn't at least have a simple name mention or drop top of his character. However, considering Ahsoka and Sabine will be with Ezra and Thrawn in a completely different galaxy, presumably for the rest of the show, it is also highly unlikely that Zeb could even make his way somewhere into Season 1, considering it would be outside of the main Star Wars universe. So, seeing on how Thrawn seems to be moving up the ladder to being the main antagonist of the Mandoverse just as a whole, the end of Ahsoka will probably feature the Grand Admiral coming back to the main Star Wars galaxy and to begin his reign of terror and come back into the Hera of the Empire title that Ahsoka has first gave him. And so, if that is the case, when Ahsoka could very well receive a Season 2, it's looking quite promising, but that's something to discuss in a separate future video here on the channel, which would be much more of a likely place for Zeb to actually be featured. And so, once again, speaking outside of the terms of in-universe or in-canon explanations for Zeb missing in the Ahsoka show, maybe there's an idea of that Lucasfilm didn't want to spend a part of the budget focusing and working on trying to implement this fully CGI'd character of Zeb into the Ahsoka show if the Ahsoka show were to flop and just it wouldn't receive very well on Disney Plus, and it would have just been a big waste of time. That clearly, though, however, is the exact opposite, and Ahsoka has been nothing but amazing. Which is exactly what Disney has said before, is that if Ahsoka Season 1 does perceive well for Disney Plus viewers, then it will probably receive a second season, and that is something that they all are looking forward to doing. So if and when Season 2 does get made at some point, it will most likely showcase Thrawn versus the New Republic, and that is something that would more than likely also be built up more for the overall Mandoverse and Dave Filoni's culmination Mandalorian Mandoverse movie that was first announced at the beginning of this year at Star Wars Celebration. At that point, it would be almost too easy to bring Zeb into the fold since he has a position within the New Republic ranks, making him maybe one of the main New Republic characters. So, Thrawn's return and eventual war on the main Star Wars galaxy would not only cause the New Republic to act and to allow Zeb to act, but they would probably order him to. And if some strings could be pulled, fans very well could see the Rebels fan favorite back with his ghost friends and the ghost crew in Ahsoka Season 1 with its remaining 3 episodes. There's still hope. Let's hold it out. This here all being said though, guys, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions and theories in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Zeb appearing in the Ahsoka show? What have you guys thought about the overall Ahsoka show so far? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions and theories in the comment section down below, guys. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.